UK economy grows by 0.4% in the second quarter. Britain's economy has rebounded and growth has picked up as the sunny weather has helped boost construction and shopping figures, it was today revealed. The UK's GDP grew by 0.4% in the second quarter of the year, far higher than the 0.2% the quarter before when snow and frost slowed building rates. The figures will be welcomed by Chancellor Philip Hammond, who is under growing pressure to turn on the public spending taps after years of austerity. The figures, released by the Office for National Statistics, ONS, today, come as House of Fraser, one of the country's best-known department stores, today warned it is teetering on the edge of closure. The ONS's head of national accounts Rob Kent-Smith said, "The economy picked up a little in the second quarter with both retail sales and construction helped by the good weather and rebounding from the effects of the snow earlier in the year. However, manufacturing continued to fall back from its high point at the end of last year and underlying growth remained modest by historical standards. The UK's trade deficit noticeably worsened as exports of cars and planes declined sharply while imports rose." The figures come on a day of gloomy news for the high street as House of Fraser announced it could close all its stores and go into administration. House of Fraser is set to go into administration today, putting 17,000 jobs at risk, but billionaire Mike Ashley is reportedly plotting to buy it hours later. The beleaguered department store chain must now secure funding before August 20 and is closing 31 stores, including its flagship Oxford Street branch. Experts have said it needs £50 million to survive, and Mr. Ashley, who already owns 11% of the business, may now buy the rest for a cut price after administrators step in today. The Sports Direct founder, who has previously said he dreamed of owning a UK department store, could face a rival bid from Philip Day, the billionaire owner of Edinburgh Woolen Mill. When House of Fraser topples into administration today, it will end 169 years of trouble-free trading for the retailer. House of Fraser will go into administration today having been plunged into fresh crisis after C.Banner, the Chinese owner of Hamleys, pulled its investment into the troubled retail chain. C.Banner was planning to buy a 51% stake in House of Fraser and plow £70 million into the ailing retailer, but scrapped the move last week. Meanwhile, House of Fraser is facing a race against the clock to find fresh investment and avoid a calamitous administration that would imperil 17,000 jobs. The beleaguered department store chain confirmed on Thursday that it must secure funding before August 20 as crunch talks with potential rescuers continue. The firm has been plunged into fresh crisis after C.Banner, the Chinese owner of Hamleys, pulled its investment into the troubled retail chain. C.Banner was planning to buy a 51% stake in House of Fraser and plow £70 million into the ailing retailer, but scrapped the move last week. But Mike Ashley, the controversial boss of Sports Direct, is reportedly in talks to buy it. Experts have said it needs £50 million to survive, and Mr. Ashley, who already owns 11% of the business, may now buy the rest for a cut price after administrators step in today. The Sports Direct founder, who has previously said he dreamed of owning a UK department store, could face a rival bid from Philip Day, the billionaire owner of Edinburgh Woolen Mill. When House of Fraser topples into administration today, it will end 169 years of trouble-free trading for the retailer. John McDonnell MP, Labour's shadow chancellor, commenting on the latest GDP figures, said, "More than 8 years of unnecessary ideologically driven austerity has created an economy unable to cope with the instability brought about by the Tories' mismanagement of the Brexit negotiations. The result is low growth and stagnant pay. Growth is anemic, councils are going bankrupt, and the NHS is now in permanent crisis while holidaymakers are being hit by the Tories' falling pound. Labour will bring stability to the economy and rising living standards with long-term stable planning and investment, and by securing a Brexit deal that puts jobs and the economy first." Toys R Us, the toy chain, went into administration on the last day of February after failing to find a third-party buyer. In February, HMRC sought to recover £15 million in unpaid VAT, and this finally tipped the company into administration. Maplin, One of the UK's biggest electronics retailers collapsed into administration on the same day as Toys R Us after talks with buyers failed to secure a sale. The business faced the slump in the pound after the Brexit vote, weak consumer confidence and the withdrawal of credit insurance. Conviviality Retailing, the major drinks and off-license supplier that owns Wine Rack and Bargain Booze, went into administration in early April. The company had grown too quickly by merger. There were a series of profit warnings and a £30 million tax bill for which Conviviality was forced to ask for extra funds from investors, who refused. Warren Evans, the bed, mattress and furniture retailers in London and the South East, went into administration 1 week after putting itself up for sale. The retailer, known for its ethical stance, had been losing money for some time under the pressure of rising costs and shrinking customer spending. Cavtron, the owner of Jacques Vert, Windsmore, Dash and Eastex fashion brands that ran about 300 UK concessions in stores including Debenhams and House of Fraser, went into administration at the start of May. Bosses said inflation and wage freezes had been a driving force behind decreased spending. Juice Corporation, the firm behind fashion brand Joe Bloggs and the retailer that designed the wedding dress for Diana, Princess of Wales, collapsed into administration in January. Although the group made profits, it had failed to make inroads into the fashion market. Mothercare, the ailing baby goods and maternity retailer, has proposed to close 50 stores as part of a planned turnaround for the company. It said losses were driven by the costs of 17 store closures last year, onerous leases and a head office restructure which resulted in 190 job cuts. Carpetright, the embattled flooring firm, is embarking on a store closure program and has begun efforts to raise £60 million in emergency funding as it pushes through a restructuring after announcing it was expecting to book a full-year underlying pre-tax loss of between £7 million and £9 million. Carluccio's, the upmarket deli chain, has unveiled a restructuring plan that will likely lead to 34 restaurant closures as it cited a combination of a gradual decline in consumer spending and increasing competition, coupled with the rising costs of labor, raw materials, rent and business rates. Other restaurants that have undertaken company voluntary arrangements so far this year include Byron, Prezzo and Jamie's Italian. New Look, the clothing chain, announced earlier this year that it would close 60 UK stores and cut 1,000 jobs as part of a financial restructuring.